Hi there, my name is Dawn Barton and I am a sales director with Mary Kay Cosmetics. And I wanted to share with you a little bit today about one of the things I am so completely, totally, and utterly passionate about, and that is something called the Favor House Project. Now, as soon as I started filming, I have to tell you, my precious dog decided to jump in the background. Of course, joys of home videos. But I wanted to share with you a little bit about what this thing is I do every year called the Favor House Project. Well, this started about 6 years ago when I had just joined Mary Kay Cosmetics and I had just gone to my very first Mary Kay event. It was a huge event. We call it seminar, huge. And I was up in the stands, way, way high, like nosebleed. And I was sitting there. And all of a sudden, I had this moment where I felt so completely convicted and passionate about the fact that I was meant to help women that had been affected by domestic violence. I didn't know how, I didn't know what it was, but it was just on me. It was just like, you ever had one of those things where it will not get off your head? You know that you are meant to do this. You know that you are just, this is something you're being called to do. So I came home and I looked up what our shelter was that for women that had been affected by domestic violence. And our shelter here locally is called Favor House. So I called Favor House, and that year I went in and I gave makeovers to 8 women. And I just wanted to go in and pamper them and to give them product. I didn't have any agenda, nothing. I just wanted to give back to these women. And these were women who had been in the shelter and were now in the second phase of kind of making it on their own. And this was like like a gift for them for kind of making it through that next phase is what is the group that came. I didn't know that at the time, but that was the group that came. And so we did skincare and we did makeup and it was amazing. But as I was talking with these women, it was an appointment that would probably have normally taken an hour and a half, and I was there for 4 hours. So as we were talking, I remember one of the things that we had to do is I had to write down all the things we were doing, the steps and all that kind of stuff on a piece of paper, because one of the women had been beaten so often and so horribly by her husband that she could no longer hear. And then another 2 women were sitting there and they were giggling, and one of them was excited because she was never allowed to wear makeup and never allowed to buy it, never allowed to wear makeup. And the other one was so excited because she was never allowed to buy underwear. And that week she had been able to go out and buy underwear for the first time. It was not something she was allowed to wear or purchase for herself. And then one other person I want to tell you about was sitting next to me to my right. I remember it like it was yesterday. And she actually became a friend of mine, and we kept in touch over the years, and I love her to pieces. And she told me she had been abused for over 20 years. They had traveled the world together, and they were missionaries. And he abused her completely, totally, horribly, held a gun to her head when she didn't do the things she was supposed to do. And it just hit me. I remember leaving that night. And I sat in my car and cried and cried and cried. And I think I cried so much because I was so grateful for not having been in that situation before. But also my heart was so heavy for things that they had been through. And I was just so glad that I was able to do something so little. I mean, really, giving makeovers and giving product seemed so little, but it was so significant to those women. It was so huge. So the next year, I was dead set that I was not going to let any woman that came through the Favor House shelters be without a bag of gifts, pampering gifts for themselves, so that they had something during the holidays, just every single woman that came through. So we did this project. The first year was actually over $13,000 we raised, because that year we had a down economy, and when the economy is down, abuse is up. So there were more women that came through their shelters. We had originally given them, I think, 90 bags, and then they came back and said, can we have more? We have more women. Absolutely. And then the next year, ever since then, it's been 100 bags each year. And each bag has been filled with things that bathing lotions and gels and lotions and eyeshadows and lip glosses and mascaras and things that would just make them feel just that little extra bit of good about themselves. You would not believe how much a lotion or a mascara or something that makes a woman feel pretty, and for women out there, you know what I'm talking about, how different makeup makes us feel. But it isn't just that, but some of those pampering products that they either maybe can't afford to buy, or they just haven't felt worthy enough to do that for themselves. And so I have loved being able to do this project with your help over these years. Well, I have a confession to make that this last year, I did not feel like, honestly, that was the only reason, doing all of the fundraising during the holiday season this last year. And so I personally donated, except for $40, everything to the women. And it took me a little bit longer. So I didn't get everything to Favor House until Mother's Day. So Mother's Day came and I dropped it all off. And after that, I had decided that was probably the last year I was doing Favor House, that it was time consuming. It was, let's be honest, fundraising is just not a ton of fun. It's hard to ask people, but even when you're so passionate about something, it isn't always easy, but it's worthwhile to do. So I had brought all the bags, 100 bags over Mother's Day. And then in all of the years I have done this, I have never done it for a reason to, build a customer base. I was never trying to build customers out of it. I was never trying to enhance my personal business out of it. It's not a money-making project. It's something I do at cost. And I received a phone call from a woman. I have never, in all the years I've done it, and about 4 weeks ago, I received a phone call from somebody. And she told me that she actually called me crying. And she said, "Thank you so much. Thank you so much for donating these products." She said, "I've heard about Mary Kay. I've always wanted to try it. I'm so excited. I haven't bought these kind of things for myself." And she said the word again. She said, "I feel like somebody cared and I feel worthy." And that blew me away. And not just that, but about 5 to 7 days after that, another woman called. Now, mind you, I have never, ever had anyone call me. And she too told me, "Thank you so much." And both calls, I hung up crying. I sounded like a complete goofball on the phone because I think I was more emotionally overwhelmed than they were, because I was so excited to hear how much it touched their hearts to have a bag of products, given to them. So like I said, I had sort of decided I wasn't doing this project. I had these 2 phone calls, and then I was starting to think, well, maybe. And then all of a sudden, I get a package in the mail, and that package had, oh my goodness, all of these thank you notes from the women of Favor House. These were all from the Mother's Day thank you notes telling me how much a lotion and a gel and those kind of things meant to them. So I think that the signs were definitely there that this project needs to continue, and I need to work very hard to ensure that it does continue. So that's what I'm going to do. So we are looking for, I say we, it's me. It sounds more important when I say we. I am looking for 100 people to donate. We're looking for $8,500. If you are able to donate $5, $10, that is wonderful, and that helps tremendously. If you're able to donate $8,500, that's fabulous too, and it's all done. It is such an incredible project, and I love doing it. I love sharing the pictures with you. I know several of you have donated, and you've been able to see the pictures of me going up there and donating, and you've seen copies of the thank you letters, and it is just, it's a project that absolutely is a passion of my heart. So I am looking for, if you are interested in donating, I would be so grateful. And go to dawnbarton.com, and you will see at the bottom of the page an area for you to click on, a link to click on to donate. And there's also a video on there that Mary Kay Cosmetics did about this project. So it was so wonderful to be recognized just on a corporate level for this project as well. And there's a video that they did. So I hope that you feel just a little tug in your heart and you want to do it. You see my dog growling in the background? Oh. So real life videos, like I said. Thank you for your time. Thanks for taking a couple of minutes. Have a great day.